They're using food to silence the spiritually awakened. If your soul just nodded, let YouTube know this belongs to more people like you. Leave a comment so someone else on this path doesn't feel alone tonight. Have you ever wondered why, even after all your healing, all your awakening, your spirit still feels heavy? You're doing the meditations, you're raising your frequency, but something in your energy still drags. It's not sadness, it's not fear, it's a silence where your spirit should be singing. Most people think they're eating for health, but what if I told you some foods are feeding your body while starving your soul? Today, we'll uncover what's really on your plate and why the spiritually awakened, the chosen ones, are being targeted in ways most never notice. Because what happens next changes everything. Most people think food is just about nourishment, calories, nutrients, clean versus dirty. But for the chosen ones, what enters your body doesn't just go to your cells. It touches your energy channels, your spiritual perception, your access to the higher self. And some foods, they don't just slow you down, they silence you. You feel it, don't you? That subtle fog, that strange numbness right after you eat. It's not just digestion, it's interference. A quiet war is being waged on your divine connection, and the front line is your plate. But if you've felt this, you're not crazy. You're just awake enough to notice. These foods are modified, energetically, chemically, even vibrationally, not by accident, but by design. Their purpose? Block your awakening, dull your clairvoyance, and cloud your pineal gland. Why? Because if the awakened ones rise, the system falls. And they know that. Imagine trying to tune into a sacred frequency while someone plays static in your ears. That's what's happening to your spirit every time you ingest these hidden agents. Your aura dims, your vibrational frequency crashes, your ability to receive spiritual downloads disrupted. This isn't just about avoiding junk food, it's about reclaiming your manifestation power, restoring your energetic shield, and realigning. With divine truth, food has become the new veil, a tool to disconnect you from yourself. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Some say, it's just food. But for those walking the path of ascension, it's a battlefield. You're not being dramatic, you're being targeted because your light disrupts systems built on darkness. And the most effective way to mute the awakened is to poison their fuel. So next time your body reacts strangely to something normal, pause, breathe. Remember, your spiritual gifts are too sacred to be silenced by sugar-coated sabotage. You're not just sensitive, you're in tune, and that is your power. There's a reason you feel things deeper, a reason your body reacts to what others ignore. The chosen ones are wired differently. Your vibrational frequency is tuned to a higher range, so even a slight distortion in food or energy hits you like a storm in still waters. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. Your energetic shield isn't broken, it's just transparent. That's why artificial additives, low-vibe meals, or chemically altered substances don't sit well with you. They're incompatible with your ascension path, and your body knows it before your mind does. Sleep becomes shallow, dreams become chaotic, and your once clear prophetic visions blurred. Not because you're off your path, but because something foreign is now interfering with your clairvoyance, clogging your chakras, draining your access to spiritual downloads. You're not imagining this. Your nervous system is more attuned, your aura more porous, your pineal gland more activated than most. That's why eating what everyone else eats leaves you feeling like a stranger in your own body. And that discomfort? It's a message, a compass. When Miriam removed processed dairy, her panic attacks vanished. When Raphael cut out energetically inverted meats, his dreams returned. Clearer, louder, divinely guided. They thought they were sick. Turns out they were sensitive to poison others were taught to call nourishment. You were never meant to consume like the world consumes. Your system was designed for clarity, not clutter. Connection, not convenience. That sensitivity you've been shamed for, it's your early warning system, your built-in detector for truth. So the next time you feel too sensitive, ask yourself this: what if sensitivity is the sign you're spiritually alive? What if the foods they push are meant to make you forget how sacred your perception really is? Because if you forget that, they win. If your divine connection feels blocked, start with your plate. Certain foods don't just disrupt digestion, they scramble your spiritual signals. For the chosen ones, each bite either aligns you or inverts your oric polarity, making it nearly impossible to access your higher self. The first enemy? Processed. Additives, artificial dyes, preservatives, and flavor enhancers act like spiritual static, coating the third eye and crown chakra with residue that clouds clairvoyance and short-circuits energy channels. These aren't just unhealthy, they're spiritually corrosive. Next, beware of meat from distressed animals. The fear, pain, and trauma these beings experience doesn't disappear at slaughter. It becomes vibration, low-frequency energy embedded in the flesh, transferred into your aura, lodging in your solar plexus and heart, making you doubt your inner truth. The third, modern gluten. Stripped of its ancient structure, genetically tampered and overloaded with hybrid proteins, it creates fog, slows spiritual downloads, and dulls the pineal gland. This isn't bread. It's an anesthetic for awakening souls. Fourth, conventional. Dairy. It's sold as comfort but functions as a smothering agent. It creates what seers call the energetic mucus layer, especially around the thymus gland, the center of spiritual immunity. You may feel heavy, disconnected, or even emotionally numb without knowing why. And the fifth, energetically altered. Foods, items cooked in microwaves, genetically modified beyond recognition, or harvested without soul. These foods fracture your chakras, flip your auric polarity, and make your manifestation abilities feel like they've vanished overnight. These aren't just dietary suggestions, they're sacred boundaries, because once you cleanse these intruders from your system, your spiritual gifts begin to whisper again, and then sing, and when they do, the noise of the world fades. All that's left is truth. Not all food is created equal, and some were never meant for divine beings like you. These 5 food types aren't just unhealthy, they're energetic saboteurs. They block your spiritual gifts, reverse your auric polarity, and dull the whispers of your higher self. Processed. Additives come first. Preservatives, colorings, synthetic enhancers, these lodge themselves like shadows around your third eye and crown chakra. You'll notice it in your thoughts. Foggy, unfocused, disconnected. The cost? Your clairvoyance fades into static. Next, meat from distressed animals. Beyond the ethical concerns lies a deeper truth. Fear is encoded in flesh. When you consume trauma, you lower your vibrational frequency. You inherit the panic stored in muscle, and slowly your heart chakra forgets how to trust the divine. Then comes modern gluten, stripped of life, bloated with hybridization. It's not ancient wheat anymore. It's a blocker. It fogs the pineal gland, disrupts intuitive signals, and cloaks your internal compass. You'll feel it in your gut and in your inability to feel truth. Conventional dairy isn't just heavy on the stomach, it's energetically suffocating. It creates a thick, invisible film over your auric field, especially near the thymus chakra, which governs higher love and spiritual immunity. Your body becomes quieter, but not in peace. And finally, the most insidious, energetically altered foods. These include GMO crops, lab-grown synthetics, and foods processed with aggressive frequencies. They invert your auric polarity, making divine energy repel you instead of flow through you. You feel off, unrooted, disoriented. If you felt any of this, you're not overreacting, you're just tuned in. The solution isn't fear, it's awareness. Eliminate one, just one, and observe. Your spiritual perception will respond faster than any lab test ever could. That's the language of your soul, reclaiming its voice. It starts quietly. You remove what no longer belongs, not with fear, but with reverence. And suddenly, something inside exhales. It's not just a detox, it's a return, a reunion between your body and your higher self. But the first sign isn't physical. It's that sacred silence coming back. After 3 days without dairy, Miriam woke up crying, not from sadness, but from a peace she forgot existed. Her dreams stopped screaming. Her skin glowed without reason. She could hear her intuition, again, like a long-lost friend whispering truth. That voice, it was never gone, just muffled. When you eliminate distortion, clarity doesn't knock. It floods. The fog lifts, the veil drops. And what was always within you, clairvoyance, prophetic dreams, spiritual downloads, returns without apology. But what you'll notice first isn't magic. It's stillness. Stillness so sharp it cuts through old illusions. Food once called comfort now tastes like betrayal. Your energetic shield repairs itself. You stop absorbing every room's chaos. And just like that, you remember what it means to feel safe in your own aura, safe in your own soul. This isn't about perfection, it's about power. Real power doesn't feel like control, it feels like alignment. And when you remove what numbed you, your vibrational frequency recalibrates, and suddenly you're no longer tolerating what used to feel normal. That's not loss, that's evolution. Tonight, try this. Light a candle, sit in the dark, place your hands over your heart and say, I am no longer available for what dims my light. Then listen, not with ears, but with your spiritual perception. If the flame flickers, maybe. It's not just the wind that moved. They told you healing was about doing more. But maybe it starts with less noise, less poison, less pretending, because what's waiting beneath it all is you. And once you taste that version of yourself, you'll never want to go back. And that's the point. Miriam thought she was broken, nightmares, panic, a sense that something inside her was screaming, but no one else could hear it. Then she stopped eating what she called numb food, and in 7 days, her silence became sight. Clairvoyance, clear, bold, undeniable. Raphael was a seeker, spent years reading, praying, meditating, but never receiving. He fasted for 3 days, then cut out energetically inverted meats. The 3rd night, he dreamed of fire, but woke up feeling washed. Since then, his prophetic dreams are maps, not mysteries. Their stories aren't rare, they're just rarely told. These aren't just people with discipline, they are the chosen ones, those whose divine connection returns the moment interference fades. It's not that they became spiritual, it's that their spirit was finally heard. Maria, a yoga teacher, always sensed things, vibrations, auras, shifts in the room. But after eliminating gluten and conventional dairy, she began seeing shapes of light during savasana. She cried after class. It's not hallucination, she said. It's spiritual perception finally waking up. These aren't miracles, they're memories returning. You were never disconnected, just distracted. Your pineal gland was clouded, your energy channels tangled, but the truth never left. It waited, like an unopened letter in the corner of your soul, with your name on it. Here's something you can try tonight. Sit in silence for 10 minutes. No phone, no light. Then write down whatever comes, a word, a symbol, a name. This is how spiritual downloads begin, not as lightning, but as a soft knock. And when you open the door, prepare for what enters. So if you've been doubting yourself, stop. You're not imagining things, you're remembering. And these stories, they're not proof that miracles exist. They're proof that you exist. Beneath the distortion, beyond the noise. And now, it's your turn to remember. Before the noise, before the chemicals, screens and speed, there were people who lived by vibration, not by doctrine, by resonance. The chosen ones of old didn't guess their way through life. They listened to plants, to dreams, to silence, and especially to food. Food wasn't fuel, it was frequency, a portal to divine alignment. They knew which roots opened the third eye, which seeds protected the auric field, and which fruits sharpened clairvoyance. They called it sacred eating, not for the body, but for the spirit's ascension. But that wisdom was hidden, labeled primitive, replaced with processed promises and spiritual anesthesia. Why? Because those in power understood if you eat like them, you vibrate like them. And vibration determines perception. Perception determines power. Imagine a time where your morning meal activated prophetic dreams, not dopamine. Where herbs guided your path better than apps, where fasting wasn't trendy, it was a sacred doorway to receive spiritual downloads. That wasn't fantasy, that was memory. This ancient way is not gone. It's dormant in your bones, in your cravings. Every time you resist food that feels normal, that's your ancestors whispering, not this, not anymore. You didn't come here to blend in. You came to reclaim the forgotten ways. Try this. Before your next meal, close your eyes. Ask your higher self, will this raise or lower my frequency? Feel the answer, not in your head, but in your gut. That pause, that knowing, it's the same wisdom sages use to access stars. It's always been inside you, so no, you're not too sensitive. You're tuned into a language that once ruled kingdoms, healed empires, and opened portals. And now, that language is speaking again, through you. The question is, will you listen? If something inside you stirred during this video, don't ignore it. That's not inspiration, that's initiation. A part of you just woke up, and now it's asking, what are you going to do with this light? Because knowing is easy. Becoming is the real work. In ancient tribes, initiation required a sign, fire, blood, a name. But here, it's your voice. If your soul whispered yes, comment revelation below. It's more than a word. It's a declaration, a signal. To yourself, I'm ready to remember, say it, and see what shifts. Your journey doesn't start with answers. It starts with the decision to stop pretending. Pretending you're fine, pretending you don't know, pretending your dreams don't mean anything. Stop. You've always known. This video didn't teach you, it reminded you. So now, breathe. Gently place your hand over your chest. Feel that pulse? That's your divine connection, undeniable, alive, waiting. This isn't about food anymore. It's about truth. And truth has always been waiting for permission to take over. From this moment on, everything changes if you let it. Your manifestation accelerates, your energetic shield strengthens, and the world starts reacting differently to you because your frequency no longer fits the lie. That discomfort you feel, that's the transformation. But you're not alone. There are others walking this too. Miriam, Raphael, and now you. This is a silent revolution of souls. If you feel the call, take one step, cut one food, just one, then watch what returns. Clarity, vision, rest, truth. That's your sign. Most people will scroll past this, but you're not most people. You're a mirror, a signal, a bridge between dimensions. And now your path is clear. Eat to awaken, eliminate to expand. Listen to rise, comment, share, act, because this moment is sacred. You didn't come here by accident. You came because your spirit is tired of being quiet. The food wasn't the enemy. The forgetting was, the pretending. the silent compromise of eating what everyone eats, and wondering why your light feels dimmer every day. But now, the mirrors cracked, and through it you see it was never about willpower. It was about alignment, and alignment begins where distortion ends. So if today gave you a glimpse, hold on to it. Ask yourself, what have I been feeding that keeps me numb? What am I still swallowing that silences my soul? What would happen if I stopped? This is your invitation, not to be perfect, but to be present. Present with your hunger, with your knowing, with the version of you that's been waiting at the table, untouched, patient, sacred, waiting to be remembered. If this video gave you new insight about the spiritual war happening through food, don't stop here. Click below and keep walking with me. The next step is essential. Deeper truths, deeper alignment. I promise you'll be surprised by what comes next. And if this resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to remember. Because sometimes one truth wakes up 1,000 souls.